If you think you're saving money at Costco, you're probably wrong.
If you are a fan of Costco, your shopping cart is probably always filled with buy one get 10 deals. But wait, are they really all worth the money? A former Costco employee has just revealed a shocking truth. 10 items that seem like a bargain, but are actually money traps throwing your cash down the drain. From giant bags of food bought to last a year, but eventually thrown away because they expired, to super cheap home appliances that are dozens of times more harmful than those sold at regular markets, and even expensive bottles of vitamins with questionable effectiveness. There are even cases where consumers unknowingly bought counterfeit or low-quality goods that directly impact their health, all included in this blacklist. Are you confident that you have never purchased these money-wasting and space-consuming items? Watch the video now to find out how many times you have fallen into the trap and how to become a smart shopper at Costco. Especially items number 6 and 8 are extremely common, with 90% of households buying them. After watching, you will definitely think twice before putting anything into your cart again. 1 Costco rotisserie chicken for $4.99. Kirkland rotisserie chicken at Costco has long been considered one of the most convenient and affordable ready-to-eat foods in the prepared food section. Priced at just around $4.99, many people are easily drawn in by its golden, crispy skin, the enticing aroma, and the convenience of buying it ready to eat. However, according to former employees as well as information from nutrition experts, this dish might not be the ideal choice when considering various aspects related to health and production origins. One of the most frequently mentioned concerns is the high sodium content in each serving. According to reports from several nutrition monitoring organizations in the United States, just 3 ounces of rotisserie chicken can provide more than 460 milligrams of salt. For those following a low-sodium diet, this is a significant amount to take note of. When adding the skin and the seasoning, the total sodium content can far exceed the daily recommended limit. Consuming too much salt over a long period has been proven to be associated with high blood pressure, an increased risk of cardiovascular diseases, and kidney problems. Not only is salt an issue, but according to some documents from food experts, this type of rotisserie chicken is also often treated with a diluted salt solution and several additives to enhance tenderness, retain moisture, and prevent the meat from drying out during cooking. Although the purpose is to improve flavor and texture, this also means that consumers are paying not only for the meat itself, but also for the water injected into the product. The use of preservatives is also said to potentially cause adverse reactions for individuals who are sensitive or allergic to certain ingredients. The storage time after cooking is also a point worth noting. According to some customer feedback, during peak hours, the chickens may be kept in heated trays for quite a long time before reaching buyers. As a result, the quality of the food can deteriorate. The meat may become dry, the skin may lose its initial crispiness, and the flavor may no longer be as fresh as when it was first roasted. In addition, the glossy skin that many people love may actually contain a significant amount of vegetable oil used during the roasting process. Some studies indicate that frequent consumption of industrial oils can increase the intake of saturated fats, which are not beneficial for heart health, especially when portion control is lacking. Beyond nutritional factors, ethical and environmental aspects are also increasingly drawing consumer attention. According to several articles published in agricultural research journals, most chickens used in large-scale production often come from concentrated farming operations where animals live in confined spaces with limited mobility. This issue has raised many questions regarding animal rights and ethical responsibilities in food consumption. From an environmental perspective, large-scale poultry production is believed to have a significant impact on natural resources. From greenhouse gas emissions to land and water usage for feed production, the overall effect is substantial. Some environmental experts have recommended that switching to meat from sustainable sources or reducing the frequency of consuming industrially produced meat could significantly lower each individual's ecological footprint. In addition, several consumer organizations have previously called on Costco to be more transparent in its product labeling, including information about the use of antibiotics in farming and the conditions of the farms supplying the ingredients. Although the retail chain has made commitments regarding quality, there are still questions from buyers that have not been fully addressed. In summary, Costco's rotisserie chicken is a budget-friendly, accessible option that fits the needs of a quick meal. However, to protect long-term health as well as to consider environmental and ethical factors, consumers should actively seek out detailed information before incorporating it regularly into their diet. A quick meal may be convenient today, but smart consumption habits are what will be sustainable in the future. Putting aside the story of those juicy rotisserie chickens, it is now time for us to get lost in a bag of what seems to be a nutritious mix, but actually holds quite a few surprises. Welcome to the world of the 4-pound Kirkland Trail Mix. 2. Kirkland 4-pound Trail Mix. The Kirkland 4-pound Trail Mix is one of the most popular snacks at Costco. With its colorful appearance and a combination of nuts, M&M chocolates, and raisins, this product is often marketed as both delicious and nutritious. However, according to some former Costco employees, this seemingly perfect snack hides several concerns that consumers should take into account. One of the first noticeable issues is the unstable texture. According to feedback from many customers, the M&Ms in the mix tend to melt easily at room temperature, creating a sticky layer that is far from pleasant. As a result, instead of enjoying each component individually, consumers find themselves struggling with a sticky, sugary clump that diminishes the original eating experience. A former employee once shared that many customers are often drawn to the scale and value when shopping at Costco, but fail to anticipate that such a large bag of trail mix can make portion control extremely difficult. According to a study published in the journal Current Developments in Nutrition, eating from large packages can increase consumption by more than 10%. In reality, many people are unaware of how much they have eaten when the portion seems never-ending. In addition, in terms of nutritional content, each serving of this mix provides around 300 calories, including 18 grams of fat and nearly 20 grams of sugar. The protein content reaches about 9 grams, but it is still not the ideal choice if you are pursuing a healthy diet or trying to manage your energy intake. Especially if consumed regularly without portion control, the amount of sugar and fat can negatively affect cardiovascular health and body weight in the long term. Some meticulous customers have also pointed out that the product's ingredient list includes added sugars and canola oil. Although these ingredients are permitted in the food industry for those trying to reduce their intake of refined sugars and industrial fats, this is a notable concern. Beyond nutritional factors, the imbalance among the ingredients has also disappointed many consumers. According to several customer reviews, raisins often make up a much higher proportion compared to nuts like almonds or cashews. This contrasts with the expectation that the product would be rich in nutrients from nuts and suitable for a healthy snack. One solution some people have opted for is switching to smaller packaged portions to better control intake. However, this leads to a significant increase in the calories and sugar per package, even reaching up to 310 calories for a small 2-ounce bag. This is quite high if you simply need a light snack between meals. In summary, although Kirkland Trail Mix offers convenience and savings, it is not always suitable for every diet. Especially for those who are mindful of nutrition or pursuing a healthy lifestyle, carefully reading the ingredients and controlling consumption remains essential before adding this item to the shopping cart. After the concerns about hidden sugar and fat lurking in the giant bag of trail mix, we now step into another appointment with the cheap hot dog and soda combo. But this time, what makes many people hesitate is not their wallets, but their health indicators. 3. The $1.50 hot dog and soda combo. The $1.50 hot dog and soda combo has long been a symbol of Costco's food court. This quick meal is closely associated with the image of the retail giant, having maintained the same price for decades. With a large-sized hot dog and a refillable soda cup, it is seen as a bargain that many customers are eager to return for, sometimes simply for the feeling of getting their money's worth and the nostalgia it brings. However, according to some former employees who worked at the food court, this may not be the ideal choice when considering nutritional factors. They shared that although the product consistently attracts buyers due to its extremely low price, many customers, once familiar with it, began to express concerns about the amount of fat and salt contained in each serving. According to sources cited by various newspapers from experts, each hot dog can contain up to 1,230 milligrams of sodium, equivalent to more than half of the recommended daily salt intake. In addition, the amount of saturated fat is quite high, and when combined with a sugary soda containing about 65 grams of sugar, the total energy intake from such a meal can reach up to 900 calories. From a long-term health perspective, frequently consuming a meal high in sodium, sugar, and fat like this can impact cardiovascular health, blood pressure, and blood sugar levels. Some studies have even shown that regularly drinking sugary sodas is associated with an increased risk of weight gain and insulin resistance, which are risk factors for type 2 diabetes. Moreover, some specialized articles have also mentioned that processed hot dogs often use preservatives and artificial flavorings to extend shelf life and maintain taste. Although these ingredients are permitted within regulatory limits, they can cause discomfort for sensitive individuals or those with digestive issues if consumed frequently. Former employees at Costco also shared that many customers choose this meal for its convenience and low price, but when asked about the ingredients or nutritional value, most did not really pay attention. This highlights how a lack of information can lead consumers to underestimate the long-term impact of what seems like a harmless habit. Of course, the $1.50 hot dog combo is not a dangerous product, and enjoying it occasionally for a change of taste or for the experience is perfectly normal. However, for those who are mindful of maintaining a healthy diet or need to control their sugar and salt intake, this dish should be consumed in moderation and should not become a frequent choice in the weekly menu. As many health experts recommend, balance and control are always the most important factors in maintaining a lifestyle that is good for the body. Leaving behind the world of greasy hot dogs and sugary sodas, many people turn to organic strawberries as a healthier option. However, not every bright red berry is as sweet as it looks. 4. Driscoll's Organic Strawberries, 2 LEB. If you have ever walked past the fresh fruit section at Costco, you may have been drawn to the 2-pound boxes of Driscoll's Organic Strawberries, with their vibrant red color that looks incredibly appealing. They almost seem to send out an inviting signal with their sweet appearance and the promise of a healthy dessert. But behind that attractive look, some consumers have reported that their experience was not as sweet as expected. According to several sources from personal experience articles, these strawberries sometimes have a rather strange flavor, described as resembling the smell of nail polish remover. This could be a sign that the strawberry plants were affected by high humidity or improper watering during the growing process. Even though they maintain an eye-catching appearance, the taste can bring an unpleasant experience when eaten. A former employee in the plant breeding industry recalled that they once received an invitation to pick strawberries for free at a farm. The strawberries looked fresh and delicious, but after bringing them home, washing them, and tasting them, a strange flavor was noticeable in every box. It was only afterward that they understood why local customers had stopped buying, leaving the farm no choice but to give the strawberries away or abandon them in the fields. Additionally, according to information from several food research articles, fresh strawberries typically last only 2 to 3 days. By the 4th day, buyers often have to pick through the boxes, searching for any firm berries among those that have already turned mushy. The waste rate for strawberries is quite high, with an estimated 35% being discarded before consumption. The main reason is that to ensure safe transportation, strawberries are often picked before they are fully ripe. This results in many berries lacking natural sweetness and tasting more like colored water. Furthermore, the current plastic box design is not as breathable as expected. The small ventilation holes trap moisture inside, creating ideal conditions for mold to grow more quickly. After experiencing those bright red strawberries that quickly spoiled, you might start thinking it is time to choose something more durable. And so your gaze falls upon the giant jar of Nutiva coconut oil, seemingly a long-term green living commitment. But just how sustainable it truly is remains to be seen. 5. Nutiva Organic Coconut Oil, 78 Oz. Nutiva Organic Coconut Oil is often prominently displayed at Costco in large jars with a capacity of up to 78 ounces. Priced at around $21 and boasting a wide range of uses such as cooking, hair care, skin care, and oil pulling, this product is often seen as a great deal for consumers pursuing a healthy lifestyle. However, according to some former employees who worked at this retail chain, large jars of coconut oil are not always the optimal choice. In the beginning, owning a large, beautiful, fragrant jar of coconut oil may provide satisfaction to the buyer. But according to the experience of several staff members who managed the food department at Costco, many customers have returned, reporting that the product had changed its scent just a few months after use. Although the shelf life of unopened oil can last over a year, once exposed to air, this time is significantly reduced, often only about 6 months before the quality begins to decline. Furthermore, due to its sensitivity to temperature, coconut oil tends to change its state continuously as the seasons shift. Sales staff shared that during the summer, many customers reported that the oil had liquefied and spilled when the lid was opened. Meanwhile, in colder weather, the oil solidifies in chunks, making it uncomfortable to use. These changes do not cause direct harm, but affect the user experience and increase the risk of bacterial contamination if not stored properly. Some sources from experts in the vegetable oil production industry suggest that the quality of coconut oil largely depends on the filtration and storage process. If not processed correctly, residual coconut particles can gradually decompose over time, leading to color changes and unpleasant odors. In a few recorded cases, the oil even developed a slight sour smell, despite still being within its expiration date. Another issue raised is the risk of blending during production. According to some industry articles, there are products labeled as pure, but actually contain a portion of palm oil or other cheap vegetable oils. Some employees who previously worked in the receiving department at Costco mentioned that they had encountered batches of oil that had been in stock for a long time before being put on display, raising concerns about the freshness of the product when it reaches consumers. From a health perspective, experts warn that using vegetable oils with unclear ingredients or mixed oils may increase the risk of exposure to free radicals. These compounds, if accumulated over time, can affect cells and weaken the immune system. Additionally, consuming oxidized oils can be linked to certain inflammatory reactions in the body. Although not every coconut oil product in supermarkets is of poor quality, for larger items like Nutiva, buyers need to carefully consider their actual usage needs and storage conditions at home. A large jar may save on initial costs, but if it is not used up in time and most of it is thrown away, the economic benefit loses its significance. Sometimes, opting for smaller products from specialized manufacturers can be a safer choice, both for the experience and long-term health. If coconut oil raises concerns for you due to its expiration date and the risk of blending, then with eggs at Costco, the story shifts to a different worry: food safety and warnings from within the supply chain. 6. Costco eggs. Eggs are one of the essential items that many consumers trust and choose at Costco, especially organic eggs under the Kirkland Signature brand. However, according to some former employees who worked at this retail chain, buyers should be more cautious with this seemingly simple product. In late November, Costco announced the recall of nearly 260,000 Kirkland eggs distributed at 25 stores in the southern United States. According to reports from the Food and Drug Administration, this batch of eggs was potentially contaminated with salmonella, a bacteria that can cause severe food poisoning. The recall was classified at the highest level, as the public health risk would be significant if the product was consumed. The affected eggs were sourced from a farm in New York State and then shipped to stores in states such as Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. The product was sold in cartons of 24 eggs with expiration dates extending into early January of the following year. Consumers were advised not to use these eggs and to contact Costco for a refund. A former employee who was in charge of Costco's fresh food section shared that eggs are a product that is particularly vulnerable in terms of storage. If the transportation process encounters issues, or if the storage temperature is unstable, the risk of bacteria such as Salmonella emerging is entirely possible. They also mentioned that with the large volume of shipments arriving each day, not every batch is thoroughly inspected before being placed on the shelves. From a health perspective, Salmonella infection can cause diarrhea, high fever, abdominal pain, and prolonged fatigue. For the elderly, young children, or those with weakened immune systems, the symptoms can worsen, affecting vital organs. Although there have been no official reports of any illnesses related to the recalled eggs, this incident serves as a reminder for consumers to always carefully check product codes, expiration dates, and storage conditions before purchasing fresh items, even when buying from major brands like Costco. Just as concerns about eggs have yet to settle, another seemingly harmless product continues to make consumers hesitate. The large jar of Kirkland mayonnaise, as big as a beret, with nutritional numbers that are not easy to swallow. 7. Kirkland mayonnaise. Un gallon. A former employee who worked at Costco has provided valuable advice for those who have the habit of buying in bulk, especially with the Kirkland mayonnaise product in a 1-gallon size. While the price of this product seems quite attractive compared to smaller bottled sauces, according to many shared experiences from both staff and longtime consumers, this may not be a wise investment for every household. Mayonnaise is a popular fat-based condiment used in many dishes such as sandwiches, salads, or cold cuts. However, according to information from Taste of Home and other nutritional sources, this condiment has a relatively short shelf life once opened. Under refrigerated storage conditions, consumers typically only have 2 to 3 months to finish it before its quality significantly deteriorates. The United States Department of Agriculture also gives similar recommendations regarding the shelf life after opening. A staff member who previously worked in the frozen goods section at Costco mentioned that they often saw large jars of mayonnaise being returned because buyers did not use it in time, and the product started to spoil after just a few weeks. In terms of usage, a serving of mayonnaise is only about 1 tablespoon, equivalent to about 15 grams. A 1-gallon jar contains over 250 servings, meaning consumers would need to consume it more than 120 times within 2 months to avoid waste. For families who don't use it frequently, this is difficult to accomplish. From a health perspective, according to information from organizations such as Unilever Food Solutions and Open Food Facts, Kirkland mayonnaise contains key ingredients including canola oil, whole eggs, vinegar, salt, sugar, concentrated lemon juice, and the preservative calcium disodium, EDTA. While EDTA is used to stabilize color and flavor, some reports suggest that this substance may cause mild irritation or allergic reactions in individuals with sensitive constitutions. Additionally, each serving provides about 90 calories, with 10 grams of fat and 70 milligrams of sodium. Frequent use may contribute to an increase in saturated fat and salt intake in daily meals, which is not ideal for individuals managing their weight, blood pressure, or at risk of cardiovascular diseases. There have also been reports from consumer websites where buyers mentioned that large jars of mayonnaise separated oil, changed color, or developed an altered smell, even though they were still within their expiration date. Some warehouse staff at Costco shared that large shipments like these are often imported in large quantities to reduce costs, which sometimes means longer storage times compared to smaller products. However, if you've already purchased a large jar of mayonnaise, there are still ways to make use of it. According to US Weekly and some recipe websites, mayonnaise can be used in many dishes such as potato salad, chicken salad, tuna, vegetable dips, or even as an ingredient to make chocolate cakes more moist and rich. However, the advice from sales staff is still to carefully calculate your actual usage needs. Not every product with a good price is the right choice. For products with a short shelf life and high sensitivity, such as mayonnaise, buying just enough will help you save money and better protect your family's health in the long run. Mayonnaise might confuse you with its size and fat content, but at least it's still smoother than the next item, where a seemingly harmless dip could lead to a piece of wood in your mouth. Otto Salsa, a former employee who worked in Costco's prepared foods department, has raised a warning about a product that seems safe but hides many potential health risks: canned salsa. This warning came after Costco officially recalled several salsa products from some stores in the northwestern United States due to the risk of contamination with foreign materials. Specifically, 8 different types of salsa produced by San Juan Salsa Co. were recalled. The cause was believed to be the possible presence of small wood pieces from cilantro used during production. The affected batches were sold at various Costco stores from December 19th last year to mid-March this year. The product list includes mild to hot salsa, with flavors like mango pineapple and roasted red, with expiration dates ranging from January to the end of May this year. Although no incidents have been reported related to this issue, the Food and Drug Administration still advises consumers to proactively check their products in the refrigerator and take action if they match the recall information. According to the guidelines, buyers can return the product for a refund or dispose of it if the jar has been opened. From the perspective of an employee who worked in receiving and cold storage supervision, products like salsa often go through several stages of storage and transportation before reaching consumers. It is not uncommon for ingredients to become contaminated during the initial stages, especially when large quantities are involved and distribution speeds are high. This employee also mentioned that due to the fresh nature of salsa, the product is very sensitive to minor errors during processing, which can lead to health risks that consumers may not immediately notice. From a medical standpoint, consuming food that may contain even small pieces of wood can cause scratches to the mucous membranes of the mouth, esophagus, or digestive tract. In severe cases, if not detected early, these pieces can cause internal organ damage or localized infections. Therefore, although salsa is a popular and convenient dip, consumers should exercise caution when choosing mass-produced canned varieties. Reading expiration dates carefully, monitoring product recall information, and prioritizing brands with transparent processes will help ensure greater safety for family health. After escaping trouble with salsa and unwanted wood pieces, you might think that organic hummus would be a safer bet. But unfortunately, with its oversized packaging and short shelf life, that large jar of hummus can quickly become more of a discarded item than a healthy snack. Nawe Hana Organic Hummus 32 O's. Hummus is a popular side dish, loved by many, not only for its distinctive flavor, but also for its health benefits when paired with vegetables or crackers. Among the available options on the market, the 32-ounce Hana Organic Hummus at Costco was once considered a great deal. With a price of only about $7, the feeling of bringing home a large jar of hummus made buyers excited, as if they had found a long-lasting snack solution that still ensured nutritional value. In the early days of use, hummus seemed to be a bright spot in meals. Paired with fresh carrots or crackers, this snack created a balanced and interesting feeling. However, according to feedback from some consumers, this experience did not last long. From around the 5th day onward, the product began to show signs of change. A thin layer appeared on the surface, and the taste no longer retained its freshness as it did at first. Although it was not yet at the point of being discarded immediately, the quality had clearly diminished. Several food-related sources have also mentioned that pre-made hummus products typically only remain fresh for about 5 days after opening, even when properly stored in the fridge. After this period, the original flavor gradually fades, replaced by a bland and much less appealing taste. With a large jar of hummus like this, unless you plan to share it with many people in a short period, finishing it all is not easy. In the end, the product may become an occupying item in the fridge, or you might be forced to finish it with a sense of enthusiasm that has long disappeared. A smaller jar or individually packaged portions may be a more reasonable option for your next shopping trip. After bidding farewell to the unfinished hummus in the fridge, you try your luck in the household goods section. This time, it's the enormous Kirkland AA batteries, which you thought would last long, but their leakage happens faster than expected. 10. Kirkland Signature AA batteries. Kirkland Signature AA batteries at Costco are typically sold in large packs of 48, with an appealing price tag. With a cost lower than many famous brands, many buyers consider this an economical choice. However, according to some reviews from consumer forums and reputable magazines, this type of battery may not be the best option for all devices. Some information posted on Consumer Reports has mentioned that Kirkland batteries have a significantly higher leak rate compared to some products from long-established brands. Specifically, during testing, these batteries were found to have a leakage rate nearly 3 times higher than other brands such as Duracell or Energizer. This leakage not only affects the battery's lifespan, but also poses a risk of damaging electronic devices when the chemicals inside the battery come into contact with the circuit board or sensitive components. Some customers have shared that the batteries perform well in low-power devices like remote controls or wall clocks. However, for devices that require a stable and powerful energy source, such as digital cameras or gaming controllers, these batteries often do not maintain consistent performance. According to published tests, Kirkland batteries last only about 70% of the time compared to premium brands in high-drain devices. While the price may be an appealing factor, the higher frequency of battery replacement and the potential risks of device damage have led many consumers to carefully choose brands with proven durability. In some situations, investing a little more in quality may be a more reasonable choice in the long run. Each item on this list has a reason for a former Costco employee to speak out and share. Not to criticize, but to help you become a smarter consumer with every decision you make. Among the many products that may seem appealing, the most important thing is still understanding the true value you're getting. We hope this video has provided you with a different perspective before making your purchasing decisions. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to follow and share to spread the word to more people. The information shared in this video is based on personal experience and some reliable sources. However, everyone has different needs and experiences, so we encourage you to do thorough research before making a purchase decision. This video is not meant to criticize or completely negate any product, but rather to provide an additional perspective to help you choose what suits your circumstances and priorities.